Hail to thyself, for I am my own master. I am my own God. I need no shepherd, for I am not a sheep. Believe in yourself. A lot of people have no problem with that saying or the concept of believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. But when you believe in yourself fully and truly and know that you are the source of what goes on in your life and what manifests and what happens, then some people, the theists, the religionists, start having problems. And that isn't just the Christians who think you should believe mostly in their God or in Jesus, or those that, like the Muslims, you got to believe in their Allah. There are people who call themselves spiritualists or even left-hand pathers who will tell you have to believe in your spirit guides or aliens or archons or whatever, demons, angels, all of this crap. Believing in yourself is rebellion to the theistic mind. And I know, because I used to be theistically minded. I was a Christian for over 38 years, believing that there was a literal God and a little Satan and a little devil. Now, I say believe in yourself, and I believe in a literal Satan or devil. That's me. Satan coming from the Aramaic word for adversary. I am adversarial not to anyone out there. I am adversarial to my own thoughts and feelings, anything that tries to tell me not to believe in myself, not to believe in what I choose is true for me being true. Doubts, worries, are looking to the outside world to tell me what to believe is true from my life. I am now satanic towards that. Hail myself. Hail Satan. I am satanic to doubts and fears, or adversarial to them. I am adversarial also to anyone who tries to put thoughts in my head, or any ideas or philosophies or theologies or ideologies that try to put thoughts in my head to tell me not to believe in myself. You should believe in yourself. We are our own source of what goes on and manifests in our lives. I tell people I'm a Satanist, but it's tongue in cheek, because I no longer believe in a literal devil or Satan or a Lucifer, and I no longer believe in a literal God or Jesus Christ. I see them as archetypes, just like I would see Odin, Thor, Frey and Frigga, Finra, all of these Loki, just like Kali or Shiva. These are archetypes. Ra, Osiris, Horus, Baal. These are all archetypes. States of mind, states of consciousness, just like the characters in all of these so-called sacred scriptures, including the Bible, the Bhagavad Gita, the Quran, whatever. These are all just archetypes of states of mind because there is only consciousness. There is nothing else. So when you realize that you are truly the, quote, God, end quote, of your life, and where you put your third eye, your consciousness and awareness, and you focus that upon, whether it is wealth, health, love, or poverty, illness, and loneliness, that's going to be true for you. Whether you put your conscious awareness on, I always get a good parking space, if that's what's important to you. I don't mind walking, or from far off in the parking lot somewhere, or you're in the consciousness that I can never get a good parking space. I can never find anyone to love me. All men or women are horrible. Money is hard to come by. You have to struggle really hard to be the weight you want to be. You have to struggle to be healthy. All of those thoughts, those conscious awareness of those thoughts, I should say, and believing that they are true, because thoughts and feelings come and go through your brain all the time. The ones that you choose to accept are true for you. and put your awareness on, that's what's true for you. And that's how you realize that you are God. You are the decider of what's true for you. You choose what is true for you. You can choose that you never have any money, your wallet or your purse or your bank account's always low or empty, or you barely just have enough to pay bills, but that's it. Nothing, not enough to pay more or to buy more, to do more, to expand yourself in life. Or you can be in the conscious awareness that money always flows to you easily, and you always have more than enough, and you have such an abundance. Same for your health, anything that you want to see. And that's how you prove to yourself that you are God. All these people trying to tell you that there's these literal archons like Gnostic Christianity teaches that are holding you down, that there's some entities or deities holding you down. These people that try to tell you that there's a God that created you and you have to serve him. The Gnostic Christians believe that there was a God that created man, but now wants to oppress him. Other Christians believe that God created us and we must serve him and obey him because we're just all fucked up failures in need of saviors. Okay? There are people that believe that the Anunnaki, some alien race, came and created us by putting some of their DNA in a lower primate, like a gorilla or ape or chimpanzee, and created us to be slaves. And now we have evolved past what they thought. There are people that have so many weird beliefs, but the only truth there is, because all of it's bullshit, you can make it up and you can literally create a reality where such weird things manifest and seem real to you. But the only true reality is consciousness. And it is very well documented, even in scientific laboratory settings, that man can go out of, or meaning male or female, can go out of their human body and still be consciously aware and go across town or across country or across the world and know things, or in just a room next door with the door shut, and know what's going on in there, and have proven repeatedly over and over that we are conscious awareness. We are not our central nervous system, our brain, and our spine. We are not our body. We are not even the human characters we're playing here. The human character is our avatar. It's our character, but it is not our true self. Our true essence of self is conscious awareness. And we're using these avatars living inside of this matrix. Neville Goddard said he would use the Bible as a metaphysical, mystical tool and text as he should. He didn't believe in a literal God or Jesus Christ either. He's seen them as archetypes. And he described it as this human life here and human existence as God lucid dreaming. Another time he talked about how he's seen God sitting in full lotus position like a Buddha, meditating. And all of a sudden, like, just shattered into millions of pieces. And that's us humans. God is lucid dreaming through all of us, or meditating his dream world through us. God is nothing but your own wonderful human imagination. Now, you can use archetypes in the Bible, like Satan or devil to represent, or Lucifer to represent bad, or like the Gnostics and the archetype of God, Yahweh, Jehovah, as bad. You can use any archetypes either way. Loki, good or bad. Odin, good or bad. You can use any characters in movies or television shows, or in plays, like Shakespeare plays or Broadway plays, as archetypes. They're just states of mind, states of perception. I misspoke earlier in this video. I said Satan was an Aramonic word. I meant to say it was an Aramaic word, which means adversary. I have a dyslexia demon and I need it exercised. I need baby Jesus to exercise my demon. Anyhow, you don't have to believe in or practice Satanism or something like that, or believe in the occult or any of that, or mysticism, study any of the mystery schools, Hermetic mysticism, Rosicrucianism, any of that stuff. You don't have to study any of that. Now, my wife and I, we enjoy the aesthetics of the Gothic or occult look, things like that. and we love the aesthetics in our home. We dress that way. That's something we just like. We enjoy. We both, as former Christians, really enjoy it. But you don't have to have any of that or do any of that. But something I would recommend to someone who's interested in understanding that they are God and consciousness is this book here called The Kybalion. Now, William Walker Atkinson, along with two other authors, I don't remember their name, went under the pen name The Three Initiates, and they compiled this book and wrote this book. The term law of attraction is found in it, and the phrase the game of life is found in the Kybalion. It is a really good book. It explains how all is one, all is mind. The universe is a universal mind. The universe is mind. It is mental. It is consciousness. I like to wear the ring sometimes of the Philosopher's Stone, the symbol of Philosopher's Stone, and the publisher of this particular edition of the Kybalion put it on there. But simply, you don't have to study any of these things. Just know that you are conscious awareness. You are the awareness that leaves when if you were to have an out-of-body experience, whether through meditating or some sort of quote near-death experience. And those experiences, I noticed even as a Christian, the near-death experiences, by the way, I read a Christian book on near-death experiences, and it was funny because in that book, there was a section on those who went to heaven temporarily in their near-death experience, their out-of-body near-death experience, and there's those that went to hell, and there was no consecutive, once again, another word I'm tied up on, there was no consistency, even in the stories of what hell was like or what heaven was like. And I noticed that even as a teenager, but of course I stayed a Christian for many, many more years, for decades, until I finally got my head out of my ass and really awakened to, and my third eye really began to open. Now, in the Kybalion, there are 7 Hermetic principles. You may have heard of them. The principle of mentalism, all is mind. The universe is mental. The principle of correspondence, of vibration, of polarity, of rhythm, of cause and effect, and of gender. Now, it's my opinion, even though the Kybalion calls these 7 things principles, I believe one of them is law, and I believe it is the only and true law, the only truth, the only objective truth, that all is mind. I believe these 6, there's the number 6. Oh, 6. It's an evil number. The number 6, I believe these are principles of duality when this one mind stretches itself out and you create these polarities, these vibration, up, down vibration, or a beat, non-beat, beat, rest, beat, rest. The principle of correspondence, which, by the way, the principle of correspondence is really what, even though the Kybalion uses the term law of attraction, it's actually just the principle of correspondence. The principle of rhythm is like the visible principle of vibration. It's beat, rest, beat, rest, beat, rest. The principle of cause and effect, which is also a type of correspondence, which is also a type of polarity, which is also rhythm and vibration. The principle of gender is male and female, the masculine and feminine energies, which are really well explained in mysticism and things like that, the archetypes and the stories and those type of things. And there we have Thoth, who is also Mercury in the Romans pantheon and mysticism, and in Greek mysticism he was Hermes. So he's Thoth in Egyptian mysticism, he is Hermes in Greek mysticism. That's where you get the term Hermetic. Something hermetically sealed means sealed. It's mystical, it's occult, it's esoteric, which means it's not hidden on purpose from you. It's hidden from your own self. You hide it from yourself. Okay? And then, of course, in Roman mysticism, he's called Mercury, the bringer of knowledge, things like that. It is my opinion that where it talks about him being thrice great in the Kybalion, being thrice great, I believe it's my opinion that thrice great means those 3 archetypes representing basically the same conscious, the same principle of awareness and knowledge and occult knowledge being open to you and into your third eye. So that, in a nutshell, is what I mean when I say I am Satan or a Satanist. It is just simply a tongue-in-cheek thing, because as an ex-Christian, It just helps me, and it's fun now. I don't have to be, scared of a devil or a demon, or the archons, which are a form of demon or controllers or rulers in Christian Gnosticism. And other people believe in, other things. They believe that there's alien races trying to hold us down, and this is a prison planet, but there's other alien races trying to help us, and that's all bullshit. That's all complete bullshit. But if you want to believe in sorts of stories or dead relatives or ancestors or spirit guides or whatever, that's fine. There are channeled entities, and some of them do give us great information. I believe man has always been channeling these entities, these personalities, such as Abraham Hicks, Ra from the book Ra, the Law of One, Seth, that was channeled by Jane Roberts, Daryl, who channels Bashar, of course Esther Hick, who channels Abraham. It is funny because Abraham says they are a collective of consciousness from another planet or another reality or another plane of existence, and said that there are other races or aliens or whatever, and they do come and look, but they're not coming to interfere with us or anything or to save us. And it's funny because Bashar, who is also supposed to be another alien entity, says differently, says that they're coming to make contact and they're going to help us. So it's whoever you want to believe. If you want to believe in these stories, go ahead. You want to believe that the Anunnaki created us, but who created the Anunnaki? You see what I mean? So if you want to believe such foolishness, go ahead. But for me, I believe in myself. And if you're interested, pick up the Kybalion, check it out. If it's for you, you'll understand it. In the meantime, hail me, hail Satan, and Lucifer, the light bearer. Something else I would like to share with you. No, it's not that. It is this right here. Ooh, it's thundering and lightning out. Thor is swinging Mjolnir, his hammer. The Masonic, Hermetic, Kabbalistic, and Rosicrucian symbolic philosophy by Manly P. Hall. Now, I remember when I was 14 years old in the early 80s, I first read the term New World Order and the term One World Government, and I was studying the conspiracies and how Jesus was coming back in the early 80s. So, and I remember the Satanic Panic. I'd go to my Baptist church when I was a teenager, and they would talk about, Satanist church. It was a couple of counties over, and this whole Satanic Panic shit, and Oprah and Geraldo Rivera and all these other clowns hyping that shit up. Geraldo later apologized and admitted he was just using that hype bullshit. And anyhow, this book here, it explains. It wraps up all of this is the quote from the book that I use a lot of times when I'm talking to people or in videos, and I just wrote it down, but it is here in the book itself. This is his summing up of mysticism altogether, Manly P. Hall. This is at once the primary purpose and the consummate achievement of the mysteries, that man shall become aware of and consciously be reunited with the divine source himself without tasting of physical dissolution. That's Manly P. Hall. And that's what he summed up in this book. And he summed up in his years of study of the mystery schools of Freemasonry, the Kabbalah, Hermeticism, and all types of pagan teachings and things like that, which were mystery schools. And this book here, which is simply The Secret Teachings of All the Ages, and he breaks down, and it is just an amazing, amazing book. Of course, it won't be this copy, but you can get a copy of this book. And he explains the symbols that are used, the archetypes, and he sees them all as just man expressing himself through the different religions and mystery schools and symbolisms and things like that, awakening that he is God. Like Neville, who did not coin the saying that God became man, that man may become God. Neville didn't coin that. He is just one of those that used it properly and used it over and over a lot. And there he is, Hermes Trismegistus. The Life and Writings of Thoth Hermes Trismegistus. He understood, just like Manly P. Hall, that we are God, or consciousness. That God is not a deity to be worshipped. God is consciousness, as scientists, nuclear physicists like Thomas Campbell, who has a YouTube channel, Fagan, I forget his first name, he's an Italian nuclear physicist on YouTube as well. They've had out-of-body experiences, and these experiences that showed them that they were right all along when they started out as young atheists, that there is no God to worship, but that they are God. And I know to the theist that is satanic. And even those New Agers and so-called spiritualists of today who, oh, look, it's the evil Baphomet. It's just a symbol of balance, of the Sophia. I wear the symbol of the Baphomet around my neck. I used to think that was the devil symbol and all that crap. It's like Anton LaVey used. He would use it a lot. It's just a symbol of mysticism, of awakening. And of course, he's still the scapegoat, just like in the Old Testament and the Bible. The Baphomet is the scapegoat. Anyhow, there's people to this day you'll notice on the internet, or books they've written, or have websites, and they still think that there's some sort of energies you have to work with, whether it's your chakras. Dude, you are a chakra. All of those general principles are pointed out and divided to be talked about. And the chakras are talked about in this book as well. I'm trying to grow my beard like that right there in my hair. I'm working on it. Because I am God. And so are you. But the people who think that there's something or some karma wheel that you have to get off of, let me tell you something. The karma wheel is about momentum. You can get off of any karmic wheel by simply changing your consciousness. Stop thinking about poverty or illness or loneliness and start focusing on you have those things. Or like I said earlier, the parking space. I can't never get a good parking space. I know, I always get good parking spaces. It's the same thing. Did you have past lives? Did your conscious awareness have past human experiences or experiences as beings in other planets or some, other realities, I should say? Because the universe is not physical. It's mental. There is no actual solar system. There is no actual solar systems. There are no stars. There are no planets. There are no Milky Ways or galaxies. It's like Tom Campbell explains. There really is, people talk about if a tree falls in the forest, will anyone hear the sound? And he makes the point, it'll make a sound if no one is there, I'm sorry. And he makes the point, it wouldn't need to make a sound because there's not even a forest because no human is looking. Think about that. This is a dream world. It is not the objective truth. It is subjective to the only true objective truth, which is the first principle in the Kybalion that I believe is law, and the only true law, that there all is mind. And within that mind is different states of consciousness or states of perception. You want to see, just as again, the general way to teach it is, do you want to see poverty or wealth and abundance? Do you want to see illness or healthiness and fitness in your mind? Are you consciously aware that you are fit? Doesn't matter what the doctor says. Doesn't matter what your body says right now. Doesn't matter what your doubting thoughts and fears say. And yes, you control where your life goes by what you're consciously aware of. Like I said, Manly P. Hall studied all the mystery schools, and that's what he came up with. Joseph Campbell studied all the different religions of the world, past and present. And doing his comparative studies of religion, he was asked in a famous interview, it's on YouTube, what did he sum it all up as? And he said, it all sums up to following your bliss. And bliss is the closest English word we have to what he was really referring to in Hinduism, which is ananda. And there is a brain chemical, a biochemical in your body, in your brain, called an anandine, if I'm saying it correctly, anandine. And because it's named after Ananda. And the best way you can translate it, well, I guess the best way it can be translated is bliss, but that word really doesn't do it justice. Kind of like karma is also a Sanskrit word like Ananda in Hinduism. And karma is misunderstood. It really means momentum. And you can stop giving the ball, keep pushing the ball down the road, stop giving it momentum by taking your awareness off of your illness, off of your sickness, off of your loneliness, off of the fact that you can't get tickets to that concert that they're saying is sold out, or a good parking space. It's that simple. Again, I'm just thumbing through as I'm talking. I'm thumbing through my copy. I believe this one was posted in 1971. This edition, my copy of Manly P. Hall's book, The Secret Teachings of All Ages. So he summed up all of his study of mystery schools and ancient religions and paganism as simply that man, the goal was for man to awaken as God while he's still alive. Because once you die and your consciousness comes out of your body, and you're going to find out real quick, your conscious awareness is what we call God. But, and Joseph Campbell, who also did comparative religious studies and studying religions and things like that, and he also said the goal of man is to follow your bliss. Why? Your bliss is known through desire. I've done videos, and I'll keep repeating it in videos and conversations to the day I die. Neville Goddard used to say, desire is divine. And I've added to that, desire is divine. It's from your higher mind, your true self, your true conscious self, the eternal self, the self that's not tied to your physical body, your physical brain, that can do the so-called out-of-body thing. The higher self that is using this avatar, this body. It is telling you through desire, it's intuition is what it is. Neville said it was even prophecy if you would, as I say, accept your desire to be true already and allow it to physically manifest. You don't have to do anything. You do whatever you want, but you don't have to do anything. Some smart teachers of manifestation on YouTube will point out and tell you, you can't manifest something from a manifestation, and a manifestation is anything done here in this physical world. So any actions you do, talking to someone, to going somewhere, to trying to force things, or whatever, any actions you do is a manifestation, a physical manifestation. You cannot make it come past that way. Now, you may think you can. And of course, when magical, awesome things manifest, some people change the story. But people have manifested life from death sentences given to them by doctors, so-called stage 4 cancers, or chronic diseases, or other deadly diseases, or chronic diseases. They just won't kill them, but they won't go away. People have manifested all sorts of things, better health, better the weight they wanted, without even changing their diet. All of these things, people have manifested money that just come out of nowhere they didn't even expect. This is not to say don't go out and try to eat the way you want to eat, that you feel is right. This is not to say not to go out and exercise. This is not to say lessen your stress. This is not to say maybe you lessen your processed foods or the amount of carbs you take in, or alcohol or tobacco or something. This is not to say that. Get plenty of sleep. This is not to say that you shouldn't do any of those things. You do what feels good to you. This is not to say to go out and try to get more, to get a better paying job, or, make more money some way, and you feel like, I want to try something, I want to do this, I want to start my own business, I want to try to get this better paying job. It's not to say, just be you. Be your true authentic self. People in the New Age movement and the spiritual movement are always talking about be your true authentic self. Just be you. But don't do anything with the condition, well, this has to manifest, because once you accept that something's already manifested, you don't have to force it. You don't have to figure it out. Like I like to say, you don't have to figure it out, and you don't have to force it out. Accept it. So desire, as I like to say, desire is divine. It comes from your higher mind. It is your higher mind telling you what you can and will have or experience, if you will accept it to be true. Neville Goddard used to talk about the feeling of acceptance. The feeling of acceptance, he described it this way, and I'm going to describe it this way. The feeling of acceptance is simply that relief you feel after you've eaten a good meal and when you were formerly hungry, or that orgasm you've had after sex, or after the orgasm you've had at sex, and that relief that you feel. And just like sex or getting hungry or getting horny, those desires, you'll never fulfill all your desires. you'll get what you want. And if you say you want to be a millionaire and you want a body of a Greek god or goddess or whatever, and have the love of your life and all these things, there's still going to be things you want to manifest, because we're here to experience. We're not here to sit still. We're here to expand our consciousness and experience, because the all, which is God, the all-wise and all-knowing and all-powerful, can't experience anything. It already knows. So self-contained within it is knowledge and information. That's what thoughts are. And it is fallen, just like Lucifer, who fell from heaven. It is like the Son of God who came here, right, to be crucified, right, and to rise again. Or Mithra and all the different gods that died. Or Odin, who hung on a tree for 9 days and gave his eye so his eye might be single, as the Bible talks about it, having your eye single. That Odin might be able to get the knowledge of the runes, spiritual knowledge. You have to give up seeing things with your physical eyeballs and your physical hearing. All of that physicality is your virtual reality headset in this video game matrix, this lucid dream life. And these 5 senses are how you experience this life. That's one thing I like about Satanism in general, is because it's telling you to celebrate being a human being. Celebrate your carnal or earthly or physical or fleshly desires and interests. But the key in that is that you follow desire, not greed and lust, because those things come from fear. But desire and all things good come from not fear, but love. You love. And that's why I like to be wealthy. I like to be healthy, because I love myself. And I love this video game. this video game that my spirit is playing, and this avatar that I am, this human self, and its characteristics of it, and the interest, like I'm interested in heavy metal, and all the things that I like, and things that I'm interested in. I love my marriage and my wife. I love my family. I love good cheeseburgers, and I love good spaghetti, and all the things that I love. Right? Enjoy these things, and enjoy them to the hilt. And there's so many other things that I enjoy. I enjoy pets and animals and all these type of things. I don't care if it's my pet or somebody else's pet. I enjoy dogs and cats and all kinds of animals and things like that. So enjoy yourself. Oh yeah, I got this from the Edgar Allan Poe Museum, which I have a video of on my channel here if you want to check it out. And I like this bookmark, and I got it. All that we see or seem is but a dream within a dream. Edgar Allan Poe. And it is. This is just a dream world. Okay, I'm going to close this here, but this video. But I just want you to understand, that's what I mean when I say I'm satanic. It's just an archetype. Okay? I'm not, or I'm Luciferian. I'm enlightened. So now something, you can take that archetype and say, well, that's rebellious, though. That's a bad guy, right? Again, everything is one. The Kybalion talks about everything is one. It seemingly is two. Just like this reality is seemingly the objective truth, but it's not. It is simply consciousness that has slowed down a crystallized thought. Once again, this is what the nuclear physicists have found. And the more quantum science looks, and nuclear physicists look to what the nature of matter is, they're going to continue to find that it breaks all the supposed rules of laws of physics and everything they would expect. Even Einstein talked about spooky action, where one particle and another particle across the room or across the world would respond when that one particle is touched. When they talk about, scientists have done experiments where so-called thought transmission, and it was instantaneous. One country to another, one room to another, one country to another, and supposedly NASA did it with astronauts up in space, and they would send thoughts. The point being is, it's instantaneous because it's all just one mind. I love the analogy of the bubble gum. You're chewing on bubble gum, and then you take a piece of it, and you hold your teeth, and the other piece you hold it between your fingers, and you pull it out, stretch out the bubble gum a little bit. Remember doing that? Maybe some of you still do it because we're still kids at heart, right? That's the one piece of bubble gum seemingly having two ends seemingly stretched out. And that's why people talk about this world is a mirror or a reflection of what's going on within your mind. Again, as the Kybalion says, as above, so below. As below, so above. As within, so without. As without, so within. As the soul, so the universe. As the universe, so the soul. Correspondence, polarity, rhythm, gender, all these things. People talk about being, as far as gender goes in sex, people talk about being non-binary. Well, the universe is actually non-binary, but here there is male and female and animals and humans and things like that, right? There is things that are split out, stretched out, but yet all humans, males have nipples, right? We all have, well, males have some estrogen, but they have more test or testosterone than they do estrogen, and the reverse for women, right? So, because we're expression one of the other, it takes a male and a female to create another human being, right? To, well, impregnate and all that kind of stuff, or male and female of plants, animals, etc. All of this is seemingly stretched out and dual, and that's why your desires, the thing you desire, seems like it's separate from you, but it's not, because as the Kybalion teaches, all is one thing. Like temperature is both hot and cold. Okay, distance is near and far, but it's actually one thing. Distance, temperature is one thing. Temperature. So when you understand that desire, you can't. This is why people in the manifesting YouTube world and internet world, they're always talking about you. They're repeating what Neville said. You can't desire something that you can't have. If you desire it, you can have it. Well, this is true. And there were people that taught that before Neville. I know that for a fact. But that is true. Why? Because desire and fulfillment are the same thing. So once you desire something, like Neville says, a prophecy, just accept it as a fact and allow it to happen. And this is, shows you, there's a lot of people out there who call themselves Christians or religion, or they're humble to their God, but then they believe you have to work hard and you have to force everything, and it's action you take, whether it's about money, health, to be safe in life. Oh, I gotta do this. They don't really have faith. Okay. And now I'm not talking about faith or belief. I'm talking about simply conscious awareness, because your human brain can fool you with its feelings, its thoughts. People, oh, I got feelings. Yeah, well, I'm not talking about emotional feeling, of course, but also people have like feeling like they sense something or something like this, that, and the other, right? Well, you have to be careful about all of those things. Conscious awareness is that third eyeball. It's that single eye within you, and it sees and knows, but you have to allow it. You have to allow this thing to come to pass for you. You must accept it by simply focusing your third eye, your awareness, on the thing you want to manifest. But don't do it to make it manifest. Just accept it and go about your day. You can literally forget about it. So you don't have to believe it. You can doubt, for that matter. Okay? You can have thoughts that come in doubt. You can have all these things. But in reality, as Manly P. Hall said in his book, as Joseph Campbell said, as Neville said, and many, many others, you are God, period. You are the God of your little universe, and you are here to awaken as that, and then to play your human self and go in and out of being a human, go back and forth, go above and below, just like, and below and above, just like the Jacob's ladder, where the angels were going up and down the ladder. In mysticism, they teach about the Kundalini snake going up and down the ladder of your spine, the 33 vertebrae. A lot of people are so paranoid. I remember studying all about the New World Order conspiracies, and it's the Freemasons, it's the Illuminati, which means Illuminated One. But by the way, the Illuminati, people think it was founded by Weishaupt. It was, but it was based off of the Sephardic Jewish society before that, called the Alumbrados. There's a little bit of information there. Yes, I used to study and look into all this world conspiracy stuff back in the 80s before it was cool. I heard the term New World Order and read it long before it was ever said by George Bush Sr. in the early 90s. All of these things. And the fact is, your fears can manifest, or you can focus on what you want to be true for you. Don't worry about what the economy and the news say. If you think, well, how can I enjoy life when everyone else is suffering? That really is satanic, man. That's evil. That's selfish. Well, here's the thing. Be what you want to see. If you want a better life, better world, find an area that you feel a desire to improve. Find an area, not as a cause, okay? Not as an agenda, but just simply because you enjoy doing it anyway. Maybe you'll invent something, discover something, improve something, find a better way for things to work for people. Whether it's dentistry, whether it's mechanicking, people are always complaining about the cars, the new cars and stuff. There's always another way for things to be. If you know what you don't want, remember that duality. If there's something that you don't like or don't want in this life, that means there is something you do want. So if there's things that we're seeing that we don't like in the economy and the government, in corporations, the automotive industry, the food industry, the medical industry, that means that there's a better way. It's there. And mysticism has taught us that it's all there. And it's all within us. It's the information inside the information field. Some people call it the Akashic Records from mysticism. It's information. Not just past information, but all information. Past, present, and future, because there really is only the eternal now. If you went in a time machine and went back or forward, you would only been now, that time period. All information is now. Be what you want to see. All right. I gotta go. I'm gonna edit this video together and get her up. Hail yourself. Be yourself. Be your true self. You are God. Be the character, the human character that you can really be. And that is known to you through the desires that come into your life. Desire is divine. It is your higher mind telling you what you can and will have or experience if you will accept it to be true and allow it to happen. You don't have to use your human ego to figure anything out. The actions you will take naturally once you've accepted it, and live your life.